angels into the meetings. And those angels are touching people. I haven't had anybody say that they've seen them outright. They've talked about seeing white and this and that and a lot of things. But we're seeing miracles, we're seeing healings, we're seeing all kind of things that are taking place.
Yeah,
but the main thing we're seeing is people are leaving there with the understanding that what the manifestation of those angels and what they receive from them, some of their hands get hot, some of their stomachs begin to tingle, some of them just absolutely feel like somebody had waved their hand in front of them. You feel air moving across them. Some of them are having instant answers to questions that they've had about, should I leave this job, should I do this or should I do that? And I believe that that's God's way of letting me begin to get people to entertain the fact that, yes, they're there. As you said, sister, they've always been there. They're camped around about us, and like I said, in most of their cases, we're going to find out if we got to heaven. You know, our place is only to believe. They do the work. And I said, we're going to get to heaven. They're going to walk up probably to all of us and say, look, you remember back in whatever year that was, you know, if you'd have just believed for one more day, but no, you had to pack up and give up believing, and we're doing all this work out here. We've got the battle won, going to give you the victory, and you turn around and walk off before sin. And I said, folks, our place is to both believe. When God gave me the vision of the last days, because my question was, how am I going to feed my family, even if it comes to the place where the food runs out? And the Lord God took me in a vision, and this is what He showed me. My wife and I and my children were around the Sabbath table on Friday evening. She had lit the Sabbath candles, which our people have done for generation after generation, and prayed the Hebrew prayers. And we held hands and began to pray. And all of a sudden, we opened our eyes. There was no food upon our tables, just the plate, the linen. And all of a sudden, there was a full Thanksgiving meal before us. And the Lord God spoke to me in such clarity. And He said, son, so shall it be in the last days. Prophesy and tell my people that I am a God that will never let them down. And I believe with all my heart that the last days that we're coming into are going to be perilous, but I think that we're about to see the greatest display of the power of God that this world has ever seen.
Tom, we have a number of other questions, and I know you're a little bit past. Can you continue for any length of time? Or
Sure, I can. No problem.
Okay, because I do have people like this show, and they were waiting for you to get on here, so I'd like to try to help them out there by having you get these questions to you. Now, this question here... is the person suggesting that, in talking about the angelic host, that one must ask for their help. Do you confirm that, or do they just help irregardless?
Oh, I think you have to ask. I think you have to learn to command the angels, and I don't mean this, go get me a drink of water and do this and do that, but I think it's all direct. It is absolutely all directly related to your relationship with the Father through the Son. And if that relationship isn't right, then you're going to have a tough time commanding those angels, because again, they're traveling back and forth from the throne room, and they're messengers. I believe, and I don't intend to ever put somebody down about this, but most likely, most people that believe that they've seen Jesus has had an angelic visitation. And the only reason I say that, there's no evidence that Christ ever left that throne until He comes back to this earth. Now, I realize supernaturally maybe we could get into something like that. Now, again, I'm not saying people who say they haven't seen Jesus face to face haven't, or say they haven't. I'm just saying that there's a possibility.
All right.
That's what it was.
All right, Tom. Linda would like to know, has the Lord showed you anything concerning concentration camps and or the extermination of Christians?
Yes, we're going to go through a time. The only threat that's left in America are those of us that believe, and I'm talking now about beyond church belief. I'm talking about those that were willing to push the plate back, to anoint their heads, to wash their faces, and fast before God and seek His holy face. We are definitely a problem for them. You know, I'm not sure what year it was, but the Congress got together and they decided to document what an occult was, an occult church. Anything that was not of an organized religion, the mainline stream of religion, which is the Baptist, the Methodist, and so on and so forth. It was a cult. Anybody that did a lot of Bible studies, anybody that talked about Jesus continually, anybody that, bless God, homeschooled, anybody that that talked about the last days, and talked about the return of Jesus Christ, was all a cult. And this is documented in our nation's capital. So we're definitely a threat, and we will continue to be a threat because they don't understand. Long since has our government not understood who Christians are and what we're all about. But yes, I'm afraid that there's going to be some sad things come down when this thing all gets. All
right. Tim would like to know when will the mark of the beast take place?
I don't know when. I know that even now, as we speak, I know that those chips are being developed. I prophesied 10 years before the development of those chips that they were going to be developed. So they were going to start out with putting them in animals, and this all came to the vision. And then they would go into humans. And we're right now seeing it. The government's now considering in their armed services of using that chip to be implanted in the hand. And so we're very close. It's going to come. I don't. That's one of the things that I don't have. I know a lot of people say, well, if you're a prophet, you ought to know when. No. Prophets don't know everything. People get to thinking we do, but we don't know everything, and we don't. God's never going to let us know everything. Okay.
Right. Well, I think it's what you said, because if you did, then all of a sudden it may start turning into man worship.
Yeah.
I think what happens is that's what happens with a lot of religions or movements within religion is that, say, someone actually gets a word from God, and then, people believe it and they're moved by it, but they want to stop right there and then begin to hear whatever else this man has to say, and then believe that because that guy heard once that they need to start a church, and then people need to come, and they're trying to extrapolate a whole movement out of one maybe word. But really, I think what we need to do is learn to take that one isolated word, as we do, as I'm saying on this program even, and move on to the next one. Don't take all the garbage, the stuff that goes around it, and try to make it happen again, because it may not happen again, especially in the exact same way. Willie would like to know, Tom, who is the Antichrist in your opinion?
I don't have an opinion about that. I don't know. If I did, and if I ever have the vision for that to correlate that, I will definitely be on TV trying to let everybody realize who that is.
All right. Are there fallen angels that's walking among us now?
Absolutely. I told of the vision that the Lord God gave me a number of years ago, and He told me that once again that the angels that were here that entered into the women, the angels of darkness, and produced the giants, the sons of Enoch, were once again entering into our women here on this earth. And I know that probably gets into one of your other programs, but these are things that God deals with me about. And in fact, the Lord, when He showed me the vision, I began to see all these hideous things. And just a few weeks ago, a woman that was about to deliver a child took a pistol and shot herself in the stomach to kill the baby, throwing their children off of bridges, driving them off into the lakes. I mean, hideous crime. That's what the Lord showed me.
Like a month ago, some woman put her baby in a microwave.
Oh. Absolutely. Now, and you can just say, well, that ain't normal, and that's right. But these are the things that are taking place. And people said, oh, that's just too far out for me. Well, I'm going to tell you something. That's how far out it is, and everybody better grab hold and understand. And I keep saying, you better grab a hold of God, because it's coming.
Yeah, one of the things I sort of agree with you, and it's been my question, I've been tenacious on asking and proceeding down this route, that the Bible, as we know it, most people know it, is full of miraculous events. It's full of angelic activity. It's full of miracles. I mean, it's like one miraculous activity, whether it's good or bad, for one end to the other. And then you get to the church, and all of a sudden you have pretty much nothing. And so I'm with you on that about the part, well, if it's true, then I don't see an end date.